Think back to the campaign season a whole 2 weeks ago when the Republican talking points against Barack Obama for president included plenty of suggestion, implicit and explicit, that Obama was a dangerous choice in terms of our terrorist enemies. Senator McCain asserted that Hamas preferred Obama. Senator Lieberman also explicitly tries to raise doubts about Obama's fitness to combat our adversaries.
And in a dangerous world, Al-Qaida, Iran trying to get a nuclear weapon, I want a president who our enemies will fear. I don't believe that Senator Obama will be that kind of president.
Well, the opposite might be true. In the last 24 hours, Osama bin Laden's top lieutenant, Ayman al-Zawahiri, appears to have released the first known Al-Qaida message to the world since the U.S. election. In the video, which surfaced on the internet overnight, a man appearing to be Zawahiri, criticizes President-elect Obama's foreign policy positions in Afghanistan and Israel. He also launches a barrage of racial and religious attacks against Obama, complete with English subtitles for his audience. Among his verbal assaults was this: "You represent the direct opposite of honorable black Americans like Malik al-Shabazz or Malcolm X." The speech went further, crossing lines of acceptable language and slurring Obama and other African American leaders. In you and in Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, the words of Malcolm X concerning House Negroes are confirmed. Threatening and offensive, the message also called for a continued holy war against America, asserting that Barack Obama represents more of the same from the United States. Quoting here, "America has put on a new face, but its heart is full of hate, mind drowning in greed and spirit." What to make of this new message, particularly the racist language? Does the message do anything to prove or disprove the campaign claims about Barack Obama's vulnerability to our enemies? Joining me now is Evan Coleman, NBC News terrorism analyst. Hello, Evan.
Hi.
So why is Al-Qaida putting this tape and this kind of message with racial epithets against Obama? Why is it coming out now?
Well, I think the purpose is pretty clear. I think Al-Qaida is trying to counter this wave of Obamania, this wave of enthusiasm and support and interest that we've seen not just in the United States, but also in the developing world and in Africa, which are places that Al-Qaida has an eye on and Al-Qaida has a strong interest in. And it's certainly disappointing for Al-Qaida, I think, to see that Obama has won so much support in areas that Al-Qaida has worked so many years to develop a constituency in, to develop people who support Al-Qaida. And now we're seeing all of these people rising up, in at least out of interest in the election of Obama. It's fundamentally disturbing to Al-Qaida, and I think that's why you see this response before Obama has made a single policy decision, before he's even stepped foot in the White House. They are attacking Obama as a symbol of change in America, not because of any particular policy move or policy decision he's made.
So the election of Barack Obama and sort of the worldwide embrace of Barack Obama is the opposite of a recruitment tool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I think Barack Obama challenges a lot of the preconceptions that these people have about the United States. It challenges a lot of the underlying facts that they put into their propaganda. I think in some ways it's confused them, and they've come out with this response, which, you know, there are ways of attacking Barack Obama, which can be very effective in their language and with their propaganda. And certainly one of the ways which they've found is to put Barack Obama's image at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem, where he's wearing a kippah, and the implication is he supports the Israelis. That may work, but to come out and to call him a house slave or a house Negro, and having Dr. Ayman al-Zawahiri being the one issuing these charges in the name of Malcolm X is a bit ridiculous. I think
that's interesting. Evan, I want to dive in there. Have we seen references to Malcolm X ever before in any of these Al-Qaeda missives?
Yeah, it's a bit strange, but the answer actually is yes. In recent years, particularly in recordings relating to Dr. al-Zawahiri and the American Al-Qaeda spokesman, this rather eccentric individual from Southern California named Adam Gadon, there are frequent references to Malik al-Shabazz. And despite the fact that Adam Gadon is a white guy from Southern California, he for some reason feels like he can speak on behalf of Malik al-Shabazz. He's channeling Malik al-Shabazz, and he can thus interpret what Malcolm X would have said. And Zawahiri seems to have the same predilection towards interpreting what Malcolm X would have seen in today's politics. But I think a better question is that is Zawahiri here taking a very dangerous step? Because, you know, Al-Qaida itself has had problems with racism and bigotry within the ranks. And it was only about a decade and a half ago that Al-Qaida was paying different salaries to its Arab members and its black African members. And the person administering that financial scheme, that payment scheme, is now the number 3 in charge of Al-Qaida. He wasn't demoted. He wasn't punished for this. He was promoted. So I think the question is Al-Qaida really in a position to be, you know, spouting off about the evils of racism when clearly they have as much problem with it as anybody else?
Evan Coleman, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you very much.